Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome to the deep dive, where today we are giving you a shortcut to mastering cinematic AI video generation.
Yeah, we're looking at a really fascinating technical report on advanced prompting frameworks.
Right, because AI video has evolved so much. It went from those weird morphing anomalies to these physics-aware cinematic tools like Sora 2 and Kling 3.0.
Exactly, but generating a masterpiece means you really have to abandon that old tourist mindset.
Oh, the whole keyword stuffing thing.
Yeah, just throwing random adjectives at the AI. You need a precise director mindset now.
Which brings us to the architecture.
Hmm.
I mean, acting like a director means using structured architecture, right?
Mhm.
It's the difference between throwing a bucket of paint at a blank canvas versus actually sitting down with architectural blueprints.
What's fascinating here is how literal that architectural approach really is.
Okay, how so?
Well, the report introduces this framework called the constraint sandwich.
The constraint sandwich. I love that.
Right. It's basically layering a subject anchor, your shot or action in the middle, and then sealing it with physics constraints.
So, like, the old keyword soup is the paint bucket. But if I build the sandwich, the top bun is my subject anchor, say, golden retriever.
Yeah.
And the meat is the camera action, like dolly out. And the
Yeah.
bottom bun is the constraint, like hyper-realistic lighting.
Oh, wait. I have to pause on the meat of that sandwich for a second.
Sure.
Why does simply typing dolly in instead of zoom in completely break or, like, melt the video? People use those interchangeably all the time.
It comes down to a really profound computational difference.
Okay, lay on me.
So, to a diffusion model, an optical zoom is just magnification from a fixed point. It's highly stable computationally.
Right, the camera isn't actually moving.
Exactly. The room's geometry stays still. But a dolly physically moves the virtual camera through 3D space.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you're forcing the AI to constantly recalculate depth parallax and essentially has to hallucinate entirely new background geometry.
Just to fill that expanding field of view. Yes. So if you accidentally mix those terms up, it tries to hold the geometry still while simultaneously pulling backward.
Which triggers that bizarre vertigo effect where the perspective just bends and melts.
Precisely. It collapses the scene.
That makes perfect sense. But here's where it gets really interesting. You can have perfect camera grammar, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you still have to translate that into the specific language of different AI platforms.
Yeah, they all process instructions through very different underlying architectures.
Like Sora 2, the report says it demands brevity but needs real-world physics cues.
Right, like you can't just say jacket. You have to say wet nylon jacket.
Wet nylon, yeah. To anchor its understanding of light and weight.
Exactly. Contrast that with Runway Gen 3, which runs on strict numerical math parameters.
And that one actually crashes if you use negative phrasing. Right?
Yeah, it's wild. You have to say clear sky instead of no clouds.
Because if you say clouds, the attention mechanism just latches onto the word clouds and draws them anyway.
Exactly. Diffusion models add data, they don't subtract. And then you have Luma Dream Machine, which ignores rigid tags altogether and prefers, like, conversational prose.
Which is totally different again. So how do you stop subjects from melting across all these different platforms?
Well, the universal rule is to enforce the single action, single camera rule.
Just one of each per prompt.
Yeah, to prevent the AI's attention mechanism from overloading. You can't invent massive amounts of latent data for 3 separate moving variables at the same time.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now? Basically, even with a flawless constraint sandwich and perfect syntax, diffusion models are still probabilistic.
Right, it's essentially a slot machine.
Yeah, never judge a prompt on a single run. The professional workflow uses batch generation, like 5 to 12 runs.
Yeah, you play the probabilities, and when you hit that perfect output, you lock in its seed number.
The exact starting point of the noise pattern.
Exactly. Locking it removes the slot machine randomness for your next tweet.
So it's a slot machine, but one you can actually rig in your favor.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, you're looking at AI models that already possess a latent, mathematically perfect understanding of our entire cinematic history and real-world physics.
Which is slightly terrifying, but amazing.
Right. So what happens when we start prompting them to invent completely new laws of physics or unimaginable optical lenses that have never actually existed in human reality?
Oh man, we hand the AI the blueprints for our reality, and eventually it might just draw us a completely new one.
Yeah.
Definitely something for you to think about next time you stare at that blank prompt box.